Good morning, Leuphana students. It's a beautiful Monday morning, early for you, and quite late for me since I'm speaking to you from some distance on another continent. And it is a very provocative, interesting question that has been posed here. What is art? A gigantic question mark hangs over art today. Is there art? What is left of art? What kind of art? Is it an important question to discuss today? What about art, since everyone knows already about art? So let me share with you just a few thoughts I had of what I believe art is. And what if art were to be a bird in flight? What if it is as free as a bird in space, flying wherever it wants to, whenever it wants to, without gravity of the world? What if Leonardo da Vinci did not succeed to capture that bird? He tried all his life to fly, but he couldn't. He couldn't because he always looking at the bird, whereas Wright brothers in Ohio, practical Americans, looked only at the mechanics of flight. They were able to fly, and so it could very well be that the bird in flight is a gigantic airplane, a huge jet with its gigantic jet engines, filled with hundreds of tons of fuel, of gasoline, lifting us, the passengers, with its own automatic pilot system, own radar system, some gigantic construction flying far away into the place which might actually be a bird in flight of art. And what if art turned out to be a meteor? What if it became something out of the blackness of the sky? What if it burnt out on its return journey into darkness? And what if it had the precision of that burning out and the memory of a streak of light that struck us deeply into the soul? What if that meteor was art? And what if philosophy doesn't know? What if philosophy can never know? What if language can never reach art? What if philosophy, which is after all an erratic relationship to wisdom, cannot reach the eroticism of art? And what if art is heavy freight, the heaviest freight that you can carry, a weight much bigger than carrying the mountain on your back or a Sisyphus pushing up the stone? What if art was the heavy freight of the heart? What if? And what if art was simply the internal difference, not the difference or the difference, but the internal difference, the difference within that difference? What if it was a stage or a staging of that difference? And what if art was homeless, was not produced at home, was not consumed at home, could never really be at home? What if it was, by its very essence, the homelessness of the homeless? And what if it was necessary? It was not a luxury. It was not something to be done by an elite. What if it was necessary for survival? What if it was equivalent to killing the animal in order to feed oneself? What if it was the most necessary of all the necessities? And what if art were to be a labyrinth? What if it had no exit? What if it continued indefinitely from one labyrinth to another? What if it was a labyrinth constructed of other labyrinths without exit? And what if art was just a certain slant of light, slant of light, let's say on a winter afternoon, on a gloomy winter afternoon, or a slant of light late at night, or a light that is just at a certain angle towards us? What if? And what if art were to be a calculation, a ruthless calculation, a completely bloody calculation, a calculation made in cold blood, without any intellect, without any intuition, just a pure calculation? What then? And what if art were a screaming eagle, not an eagle sitting in the dignity of public political space, but a screaming eagle flying into the center of the sun. And what if art is just a throw of the dice, but a kind of throw of the dice which cannot eliminate chance, but it is a throw in all directions? What if it was just a throw without eliminating chance? And what if art were to be failure? What if art were to be always a failure and a failure of a failure? What if art is the inability to communicate, the inability to transcend the solitary soul? What if art can't forget? What if it is obsessed? What if it is intensely obsessed with that which cannot ever be forgotten? What if the mind of art, the heart of art, is a dementia of remembrance? And what if art is an electric embryo? It's not the embryo fully lit, fully illuminated, on fire, producing the new, but what if it is a potential electrical discharge? And what if art is sustenance? What if it is the only sustenance? It's not the dregs of gods, it's not the dregs of the remnant, but it's the only spiritual sustenance that we need. And what if art is hindered words? It's hindered by the words. It's hindered words themselves, obstacle, words that are opaque, words that are a wound inside of the cipher or the emblem which we called art. And what if art is untouched? No one has ever touched it. No one has ever come close to it. What if it is immune to evolution, not part of history, not part of any events that we know from nature? And what if art is Spartacus, is the victorious rebellion of the slaves only to fail just the moment of its birth? And what if art is the final inch, not the huge road, the thousands of kilometers, the infinity of worlds, but only the final and most precarious inch which gives us that experience of art? And what if art is all there is? There is nothing more, there's nothing less. It just covers all there is with itself and obscures it. What if that? And what if art is the last experiment? It means art without axiom, art without thought. What if it is simply the last and final experiment? And what if it is God? What if it's everything that we have ever believed in? What if everything we have ever believed in, the most transcendent thoughts, were simply a matter of art? And what if that art were a loaded gun, just waiting to be picked up, a gun with all its potential violence to be unleashed, pointing at you and at me? And what if art were wider than the brain? The brain is complex, the art is simple. What if art could be greater, more wide than what we know about it? And what if it was Vesuvius, quiet for thousands of years, just to erupt in an unexpected moment with its turbulence and turn the world into a red aura with a lot of lava? And what if art is geometric witchcraft? Easy for the magician, hard for the audience. What if it is the measurement of the earth in a totemic manner? And what if it is only a suspense between one wonder and another wonder? What if art is only that moment of suspense? It's not on this side or on that side, just in between itself. And what if art is an orphan? What if it has no mother, no father? It has no roots. It has no culture. It wasn't born anywhere where it knows and is not going to its parents or to its memory. And what if it is just a summer sky? What if art is just a summer sky? And what if it is the abyss, repeating itself in an abysmal manner, in a small and large, in cities, in the world, in language, over and over again, abysmally? And what if it is the others, Not us, but the others. What if art is not produced by the artist? It's really produced by the others, all the others who have control of it, who are its makers. What if the others are art? And what, in the end, if art were without the power to die? If the bird came back onto the empty skeleton, which is the machine and the sustenance of the aircraft frame, what if it could not die because it was never born? Thank you very much.